Hello everyone. The title of today's episode is "A Decision is All You Need." In this reality, based on where you're situated, based on how you're aware of the life form that you are, you begin to see that that attention, that observance will shift how that reality is present. What that means is the attention to form is more significant than the form, for the form is originating within the attention, within the awareness of the form. So, what must occur is a new agreement with yourself, not with anyone else, because your relationship and how you're behaving with others around you is coming up with how you feel you are. So it's very important, before you have to do anything in this life, you become aware and existentially comfortable in just being alive. There have been many pathways to this, and to be honest, the reason there's many pathways is because every moment you are alive. It's simply the awareness and the nature of the attention that is very crucial. Because what a decision is an attention. What that means is a view, aware of all there is, to then utilize all those views and make a new view, which is going to be the next moment. So the complexity of how this human apparatus, as many have thought, is aware. In other words, how this instrument is being played within this existential playfulness, there are truths of presence present. Truths about how you as an existential being are present, and your decision shifts it. The reason why you can look at certain things and make a new decision is because you have this transcendental quality of novelty in your experience. And this novelty means that your whole world can become meaningless in an instant to become meaningful again. And so the transience of how you're feeling about what an idea is suggesting the absolute nature of your truth. For it is up to man to decide his greater involvement with his world. It is up to you, the human being who's aware of his being, to decide how reality is going to engage you. And of course, I did not understand this at first, and I was driven, and it was very, very interesting, because I was not keeping an ego, but I was still working in a reality where I needed an ego. So it was as if on some level I had not taken responsibility for anything, because I was acknowledging the nature of who I was, not being there. But I realized in this life you need to make decisions, because these decisions are similar to how a man who is in, perhaps how it's in the same manner of how Bear Grylls was teaching people how to get out of I forget the name. Get out of quicksand, get out of mud like that. And what you do is you get a stick and you use the stick to make a firm platform, and then you move on top of that. Do you know? And what that kind of implies is really decision making is making reality more firm to work with. And if you do not decide on something which is outside of your comfort zone and must be decided at the time, you are not maintaining yourself properly, because your awareness is not to the self. The awareness to the self sometimes means you're not going to have any ideas on the self. You're just here. You're just present. You're aware of nature. And you begin to see, wow, when they said self-inquiry, oh my God, it wasn't just about going and looking up what a self is or writing it down and see what that means, It wasn't a shaped sense of self. It was a sense of self based on how the moment is within an experience of existence. And the freedom of this is a realignment of the ideas that are suggesting incapability, where you are born out of capability. And you're always basking in your know-how. in the sincerity of who you are, may you honestly realize that you have always been who you can be. Words are not the significance. It is the nature of speech. It is the nature of communication. And when you become aware of how you're communicating with yourself, you become aware. You see that when a decision changes the fabric of your reality and how your day is going, because it suggests a capacity that will innately handle it. There is within the human being a very profound phenomena, which is the instant knowing of being. The decision is there to make you aware of a sense of being that is before even considering the options that become decisions. You need to realize that shape is something that you need to acknowledge, and the phenomena of formed intelligence and formless intelligence is that they are simultaneously present and weaved into one another. There's a great geometry at work in regards to how consciousness is becoming present in manifestation, and we must discover this geometry naturally before our technology really can incorporate it, can utilize it. What that means is it is up to the nature of man to really see that nature and walk in the elegance of that forest. There was a point in my life where I did not see the value in making decisions that I did not understand. But as I went through certain life experiences, I noticed that you really don't have that many options. You can either trust life or you either can't trust life. And it's all based on you. And so when I began trusting not just my linear communication and rationality throughout the day, but my irrationality, and allowing them to be present without a need for a form or a certain frame, the picture, not only that the picture was limitless in my experience, but that I am different, subtler aspects of everything that is occurring. That means you feel that your fingers are not touching anything, but if you look again, they are touching all life. For where else could they be? You are a being that is gifted with the awareness of life to form. As you see form, just like how a pond has seen the last ripple fade, the clarity of your being shall reflect every form, every symbol in your vision and awareness of profundity, and you will be aligned by seeing that a man, a temporal being, has no salvation unless he steps through the doors of novelty that go beyond space and time. Who is to give this gift? Well, let's begin like this. The greatest gifts come from people who really know you, it seems. Therefore, who is it that knows you? Who is it that knows the only things that you have seen and you have walked through? And those times of solitude and silence where you had to walk your walk and there was no audience. you will see it is yourself. It is the idea. It is that ego which many people are trying to break, or trying to, in a sense, tell it to leave. And even though it needs to be pushed off a little, but we need to also acknowledge it through a simultaneous sense of acknowledging multidimensionality. Then, when one is very, very playfully grounded in their formless existential observance and knowing, which is a transcendental, just, you are it, you know. You know. So you'll pretty much feel good, but no words can really touch it. It's an untouched sense of knowing. And as you feel this, physical reality reprojects, just as if, like, that's when you truly get experiences of the holographic nature of reality. And the mystic confronts this. The mystic is actually born in complexity to receive the greatest realization, that is the simplicity of cause and effect being here and now. As there is elevation, in the depths of conception, conception may find itself a step behind non-conception. As existence breathes anew, your moment is the path to truth. Much blessings and namaste.